Hey guys, Patrick here, and today we are going to talk about iDubbbz's, I don't even know what to call it, like, apology video, for literally his entire internet career up to this point. Now, basically the entire video is him saying that he feels that he has matured and outgrown his old content, and that he is very apologetic for the things that he has said and done in the past, and now he is like, basically he just regrets everything that he has ever done. Which, I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like you can't regret it too much, considering it's put you in a position of being a professional YouTuber. I mean, I feel like if you truly regretted, like, being upon a throne of sin, as, like, you know, you want to think of it or whatever, you know, if you truly viewed yourself as this moral, upstanding person, then you would, step down from the throne, delete your channel, and get a new job. That's my opinion of it. Like, now personally, do I want him to do that, or do I think that he should do that, or whatever? No, I'm not, like, demanding or whatever, like, oh, if he's truly a good person, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out sort of the hypocrisy in his logic. But as far as, like, you know, how I feel about it personally, that he feels that he has changed and matured and, you know, all that stuff, you know, I mean, you know, he's a grown adult. If this is the path that he feels that he wants to or needs to take in his life, then, you know what I mean? Then, I mean, I don't fucking know him. I don't know him personally, and neither does anybody else who is, like, an iDubbbz fan or whatever. So if, like, this is the path that he wants to take moving forward and he thinks that's what's best, then, I mean, maybe that is true. As to whether or not I think so, I think that he's looking at potentially destroying his career here, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Now, as for the, idea, you know, that everybody goes on about, that his wife has changed him and made him a cuck, I do agree that I think that there are things in their relationship that, personally, I would not put up with, if, you know, I was married to somebody, but, you know, again, that's like, well, that's, I mean, the terms that they came to agreement in their arrangement, you know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people, you know, do get overly invested in the iDubbbz drama. You know, do I think that there's, you know, merit to being annoyed or just not being a fan anymore of somebody due to the content that they make now changing? Of course, I think that that's perfectly fair. But iDubbbz is not fucking Dylan Thomas, or even, H3H3, you know what I mean? He's not somebody who has, like, you know, done some horrible shit, or even just said stupid shit, and by, like, you know, whether or not you regard him making a cuck of himself being stupid shit, that's still not on the level of Ethan talking out his own ass about politics that he doesn't fucking understand. Let's be real, that those are separate levels of stupidity, and iDubbbz has never stooped to that level to my knowledge. So, you know what I mean? He's never, you know, fallen to that level, in my opinion. Now, do I think I would still call myself an iDubbbz fan? No, not at all. And according to him, I mean, he's fine with that. You know what I mean? He made it clear in this video that, you know, if you're somebody who was a fan of his old work, then, you know, he doesn't want you to be a fan of his anymore. Or at the very least, if you're not on this enlightened path, same as him. Which, you know, all right, I'll just watch someone else. And then while you're, you know, scraping by, trying to get, like, other people, you know, because that's the thing, right, is the people that he has thrown himself upon the mercy of, right? They're going to look at the past and see him say N-word, F-slur, and all this shit, and they're going to, you know, throw it in his face constantly. No amount of apologies will be enough. And then, you know, and he's alienated everyone who would accept him for saying those things. So it's just like he's really put himself between a rock and a hard place here. You know, and it's to the point where even, he acknowledges, like, in the video that he is addressing this in, he's like, it is monetized, but I'm gonna donate the money that it makes to charities, to the disenfranchised. And listen, like, if you want to give your money away to charity, that's fine, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you're a grown adult with bills to pay. No one's gonna fucking jump down your throat saying, oh, iDubbbz is fucking making money on a YouTube channel as a professional content creator. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean? I think for the most part, reasonable people will look at you and be like, so what if the video is monetized? You know what I mean? You got fucking bills to pay, and this is your job, But I don't know, man. He's definitely been drinking some sort of Kool-Aid or whatever to have been changing to that extent, I feel, to the point where he doesn't even feel like he deserves to make money on his own fucking videos. I don't know, man. It's so... He's definitely changed. And I guess... Again, I'm not, like, outraged or whatever. I'm not like, ooh, fuck iDubbbz, ooh, because it's just, like, because he's not, like, he's not being, like, aggro or whatever. He's just being like, yeah, I changed, and if you don't like my old content anymore, then don't watch it, which, I mean, is fair. You know what? And I will not. And... I guess that's, like, my 2 cents on the iDubbbz subject, Oh, yeah, also, I do feel like this weird thing that he pointed out. Like, he keeps going over, like, oh, my content only hurt people, and, all this other shit about, well... what does he say? It's something along the lines of basically how his old content only hurt people, and, if you could take something from it, not enjoy it from an entertainment value, but, like, take something from it, like, you have to learn something. Like, it's this idea that like, content has to be, like, educational or spiritual in some nature, and it can't just be, fun for fun's sake, or jokes for joke's sake, or, like, even... tearing someone down because maybe you have levied criticisms about them. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's bad. It's awful if it's just funny. If it's just jokes, even if they're at somebody else's expense, and he like levies like this, I'm sorry if I, hurt or sent harassment your way or whatever. But it's like one of those things where it's like, I think there was a video literally proving that Content Cop literally destroyed no one's careers. Like, maybe they had a dip in subscribers after Content Cop, but, like, they always rebounded and grew even bigger. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It caused, like, this huge, fucking, like, destruction of their careers or whatever, right? And the one that he seems to really, really regret is Tanamangu, or however you say her name, because, she was young, and, he drove all the way there to surprise her by saying the N-word in her face, and he, like, regrets that heavily, and, I'm, like, half and half on that. It's like, on the one hand, she did, like... What a lot of people don't remember is that, like, the reason he made a Content Cop on her is because she would very liberally use that word in the past, and then on top of that, tell iDubbbz to go kill himself. You know what I mean? So it's not like he attacked her out of nowhere for no reason. It's like she fired the first shot, and also, like, he was, like, levying a criticism back in her face. But, I don't know. If again, it's like, it's his shit, so if, like, he regrets it and was like, man, I wish I didn't do that or whatever, again, it's like, well, that's his decision. And I guess to go over the idea, that a lot of people have covered, which is that iDubbbz's wife has changed him or whatever, I do want to say that, like, even if that's true, right, let's say, because, like, I mean, that can happen with anybody, you get friends, a girlfriend, wife, family, whatever. People can come and go in and out of your life, and these experiences can, change you as a person fundamentally. Let's, for argument's sake, say that's true, and she's the one that's, like, causing him to change. What I will say is that, like, if that is true, it's still kind of on him. You know what I mean? He's the one who made the decision to keep her around. He's the one who made the decision to, you know, like, involve her in his content, to, you know, stick through it through the OnlyFans thing, to take her last name. He's not a baby. He's a man making his own choices. And so if she's in his life and she is changing him, he is the one who is deciding to keep her around despite those changes and the negative consequences that they might bring. The only thing I will say that I've seen as a criticism against her personally, that I will say, yeah, that's fair to levy against her, is that, you know, when they do interviews, she fucking talks for him, talks over him. A lot of the time, it's like, no one's watching an iDubbbz interview to hear you talk. People are watching an iDubbbz interview to hear Ian talk. You know, if people wanted to interview you, they would interview you. But they're not. So that's cool. Let him speak. That's the only thing I would say. That's the only criticism that I would say that people have levied against her. That is, like, all on her, and I would say is fair. You know, everything else, I would say, listen, it was Ian's choice to keep her around, despite, like, the changes to all this stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like, again, that's on him. That's not a her thing. But these are just my opinions on the subject. Please let me know what you think about it down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.